Hey everyone, I'm Sison, and today we're taking a look at Samyang's newly announced 24-70mm F2.8 lens. So Samyang have finally done it and have announced a zoom lens, and of course that is in the form of the 24-70mm F2.8. Now, if you've used Samyang, or I think it's called Rokinon in the US, you would have known that they are only known for prime lenses, but venturing into the zoom lens market is quite an interesting feat for them. I will say, it just based on my first impressions, that this looks like a solid and premium lens. Of course, you do have that nice red ring around the zoom lens itself, which is pretty striking, I must say. But with that being said, it is a lens that's made for Sony E-mount cameras. Now, I have been using it on the Sony a7 III primarily. I am keen to try it on other bodies to see how it performs. But just to let you know, this is only going to be a first look video. I'm just going to take you around the design of the lens and let you know what I think of it in terms of first impressions. And later on, I'll be doing a full review video coming shortly. So if you haven't already, please feel free to subscribe and hit that notification bell to let you know when I upload that video. Now, with that out of the way, let's take a closer look at this lens. Here it is attached to the Sony a7 III. Over here, you do have your zoom ring, which extends that far. And of course you do have a focus ring. They are different textures, so if you like that or not depends on your preference, but I actually didn't like it at first, but I'm actually grown accustomed to this. It does feel rather nice, especially when you're using this focus ring as well. Just to let you know, this is a plastic petal type lens hood, and it does accept 82mm filter threads, so rather large. You're going to have to spend a bit more on that filter if you intend to use something like that. Now, like the Samyang 75mm f1.8, having this set to mode 1 will allow you to change your focus when shooting in manual focus or direct manual focus. And having this in mode 2 will allow you to change your aperture, which is a pretty interesting feature to have on a zoom lens. I don't think many zoom lenses actually have that capability. There is actually a rubber gasket, so it is a lens that's designed as advertised as weather sealed, so it's going to be great to this does protect the lens from adverse conditions, so from dust and moisture, and I only assume that it's going to be dust and moisture resistant throughout the barrel of the lens itself. So that's just the size of the lens. It does feel rather heavy. I don't expect this lens to be anything light for that matter, but with that being said, there is no stabilization within this lens. You are solely relying on the in-body stabilization of the camera itself, if it does actually have that. So far so good in terms of autofocus, as this lens has been able to keep up with tracking movement. IAF works very well with this lens. Now, judging from the images, they look pretty impressive with a decent amount of bokeh thanks to its f2.8 aperture. Sharpness seems rather impressive on first glance, but I will have more to say about that in my full review coming shortly. So in terms of my first impression so far, I am rather pleased with it. I'm excited to see what I can get with it once I put it through a proper test. In terms of what I'm seeing so far, focusing is quick, images are pretty good from what I've seen, very sharp as well. Bokeh is nice and smooth, but of course that's going to be subjective depending on what your preferences are in terms of image quality. In terms of build, I do like it. I do wish that Samyang had implemented that button, which is customizable. This is a feature that has been on other lenses from Samyang. I think it's on their 24mm f1.8, correct me if I'm wrong, but it would have been nice to see that there. It is also good to see that custom switching it to mode 2 and controlling the aperture through the focus ring, which is actually a very smart idea. Now, it isn't light, it is a bit front heavy, I guess depending on the camera that you use. I've only been using it on the a7 III, but if you're using maybe an a7R4, A1 for that matter, you're probably going to feel a bit more at home with it. Of course, if you're using it on a crop sensor camera like an a6000 or anything of that sort, of course it's going to be front heavy. Now, coming into the market, standard lens zoom, it's going to be facing stiff competition, so while I don't exactly have the pricing of this lens thus far, it'll be interesting to see where it's actually priced at within different markets. Alright, so that's about it from me. If you have any more questions, please feel free to leave a comment down below. I'll be more than happy to answer that, and I might even answer it in the review video. If you haven't already, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, follow me on Facebook and Instagram for more sample photos and photo updates, and don't forget to take a look in the description down below for more information about this lens, as well as affiliate links that do help support the channel. Until then, happy shooting and thanks for watching.